Hey, welcome to Socialism for All. This file is being recorded for the December 2024 edition of Socialism for All, and it's an audiobook of A Telegram to Comrade William Z. Foster by Mao Zedong from 1945. If you like this video, please click like and subscribe, and consider supporting on Patreon or buy me a coffee at patreon.com/socialismforall or buymeacoffee.com/socialismforall. There are links to Patreon and Buy Me a Coffee in the video description. So this short piece is being recorded for the First Wave U.S. Anti-Revisionism playlist, also known as the Anti-Browderism playlist, and we're recording it near the end of the second leg of that playlist, which is basically the official response to Browder within the CPUSA, Earl Browder having been the General Secretary of the CPUSA for the preceding few years, who actually liquidated the party. The previous video in this playlist is the national resolution of the CPUSA in reconstituting itself at the late July 1945 National Conference, and it's at this time that Mao sent the telegram congratulating Foster, who was at the time the national chairman of the CPUSA. And we'll start with a footnote about Earl Browder. Earl Browder was the General Secretary of the Communist Party of the United States of America from 1930 to 1944. During World War II, the rightist ideas in the Communist Party of the USA, of which Browder was the chief exponent, developed into an anti-Marxist, revisionist, capitulationist line. From December 1943 onward, Browder advocated this line in a number of speeches and articles, and in April 1944 he published Tehran as his right opportunist program, revising the basic Leninist thesis that imperialism is monopolistic, decadent, and moribund capitalism, and denying the imperialist nature of U.S. capitalism. Browder declared that U.S. capitalism, quote, retains some of the characteristics of a young capitalism, emphasis in original, and that there is a, quote, common interest between the proletariat and the big bourgeoisie in the USA. Thus he pleaded for the safeguarding of the system of monopolist trusts and dreamed about saving U.S. capitalism from inevitable crisis by means of class conciliation. Basing himself on this absurd appraisal of U.S. capitalism and following a capitulationist line of class collaboration with monopoly capital, Browder in May 1944 presided over the dissolution of the CPUSA, the party of the U.S. proletariat, and formed a non-party organization, the Communist Political Association of the USA. From the very beginning, Browder's wrong line met with opposition from many members of the CPUSA, with Comrade William Z. Foster at their head. Under the leadership of Comrade Foster, the Communist Political Association, in June 1945, passed a resolution denouncing Browder's line. In July, the association held a special national convention and decided on the thorough liquidation of this line and the re-establishment of the Communist Party of the USA. Browder was expelled from the party in February 1946 because he persisted in his stand, which was a betrayal of the proletariat, and because he openly supported the imperialist policy of the Truman administration and engaged in factional activities against the party. So that's the end of the footnote. Let's now begin the telegram to Comrade William Z. Foster from July 29, 1945. Comrade William Z. Foster and the National Committee of the Communist Party of the United States of America. We are glad to learn that the Special Convention of the Communist Political Association of the United States has resolved to repudiate Browder's revisionist, that is, capitulationist line, has re-established Marxist leadership, and revived the Communist Party of the United States. We hereby extend to you our warm congratulations on this great victory of the working class and the Marxist movement in the United States. Browder's whole revisionist capitulationist line, which is fully expressed in his book, Tehran, in essence reflects the influence of reactionary U.S. capitalist groups on the U.S. workers' movement. These groups are now doing their utmost to extend their influence in China too. They are supporting the erroneous policy of the reactionary clique inside the Kuomintang, a policy which is against the interests of the nation and the people, and are thereby confronting the Chinese people with the grave danger of civil war and jeopardizing the interests of the peoples of our two great countries, China and the United States. Beyond all doubt, the victory of the U.S. working class and its vanguard, the Communist Party of the United States, over Browder's revisionist capitulationist line will contribute signally to the great cause in which the Chinese and American peoples are engaged, the cause of carrying on the war against Japan, and of building a peaceful and democratic world after the war.